Hello everybody, d0n7bl1nk here again with another Battlefield Bad Company 2 gameplay commentary for you guys. And today I wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping, talk about some news related to this game, and I'm also going to be finally following up that health problems video that I did a while back. I'll leave a link on the screen and in the description. But first let's talk about Bad Company 2. VIP map pack number 7 is coming out tomorrow, December 1st, for all platforms as far as I'm aware. 2 maps from Bad Company 1 are going to be included, and 2 maps from the single-player campaign of Bad Company 2 as well. So, looking forward to that. I'm going to be going back up to Berkeley tomorrow, so I should be able to start recording right away and get some videos out to you guys probably by the end of the day. So, look forward to those. And then the release date for Battlefield Bad Company 2 Vietnam has also been announced. It's coming out on the 21st for you console players and the 18th for PC players like me. So that's going to be awesome. I'm going to be making a lot of Vietnam content. I was actually scheduled to come back down to my parents on the 15th, but I went ahead and I canceled that flight so that I could make videos for you guys. So, you know, I'll accept payment via PayPal or even traveler's checks, so just go ahead and send those my way. But in all seriousness, I also wanted to talk about some of my other health problems today because you guys have been asking a lot. I did a video in the past, like I said, where I talked about some complications that I've had to deal with ever since having my gallbladder taken out. And I said at the end of the video that I would talk about my other health problems in a follow-up video, and I never really got around to it. So I thought I'd go ahead and go into that now. Because I have nothing better to do. I'm just sitting at my parents waiting to go back up to Berkeley for the most part. So, I'm going to go from the bottom of my body up to the top and just talk about all of the health problems that I can remember. I have a pretty long list of them, so I might forget a few. It's hard to keep track of them all. And most of them are relatively minor, but when you put them all together, you know, it becomes very frustrating just because I'm constantly in pain. I'm constantly dealing with little aches, little tweaks and tinges of pain, and yeah, it's kind of annoying, but nothing too major. But first, let's start with my feet. I have hammer toes, which is a condition that makes my toes kind of curl up and eventually fuse into solid bone, and that's actually happened with a few of my toes, and it's very, very painful. So I'm trying to schedule a surgery to be done with those because doctors have told me that if I don't get any sort of procedure done, I probably won't be able to walk by the time I'm 30 because all of my toes will just fuse up and it'll become too painful. So I'm looking to have surgery done on my toes. I also have a quote-unquote very rare foot deformity, which, you know, it's never good when you go to a doctor and you ask them about a health problem you have and they don't have a name for it because it's so rare. So, you know, I'm probably going to have to get some orthotics for my shoes in order to alleviate some of the pain that's caused by my foot deformity. Basically what happens is I put too much weight on the outside of my feet because of the way that my feet are structured, and it causes serious knee and joint problems, and it's made my back problems even worse than they already were. And my back problems are pretty bad. I have almost constant back pain. I have scoliosis, which is curvature of the spine, and I went to the chiropractor on a weekly basis in high school, but at this point I just can't afford to continue getting treated for that. And I'd rather focus my efforts on my feet just because it's so painful for me to walk around for extended periods of time. So, you know, got to kind of prioritize your health problems in order of severity, and that's kind of what I've been doing, unfortunately. I wish I lived in a more socialist country where I could get some, you know, good free health care, but that's just not the case here in the US. It's very, very expensive, unfortunately. So, dealing with that. Obviously, I talked about my gallbladder problems, so I don't need to go back into that. I also have a fractured sternum that's been fractured for the past, 7 or 8 years. Basically, I was a I played baseball in high school for my freshman year and part of my sophomore year. And in the off season, we did weight training. And I went in one day and I was doing some lifts, and I dropped about 245 pounds on my chest, and it split my sternum. And now I can crack it almost like I can crack the knuckles in my fingers. It's pretty gross. And I've gone to the doctor about it, and they've said that there's nothing that they can do. I just have to kind of deal with it. And it causes some discomfort, especially when I'm lying on my side. But for the most part, it's just kind of a novelty, you know. It's a nice little parlor trick. I can go and say, hey, you want to hear me crack my chest? And I can go ahead and do it, and it always freaks people out. I have some bone chips in my elbows because I was a pitcher, and those of you who have ever played baseball, you probably know, after a while of pitching, you know, you just completely ruin your arm, and that's what happened to me, so that's awesome. I also have arthritis in just about every joint possible, but it's especially serious in my fingers and my wrists. I have carpal tunnel syndrome, so I'm a very slow typer as a result, and it's also sometimes painful for me to type. So if you're ever on Steam and you send me a message and I don't reply, it's not because I don't like you. It's either because I'm not there, or it's because it's very painful for me to type at the moment, and I just don't want to have to go through that. So yeah, just thought I'd let you guys know about that. I also have social anxiety disorder, which is a mental disorder which makes it very stressful to deal with social situations. And that's kind of one of the things that I like about this whole YouTube thing, is that I can do these commentaries by myself, and you know, I don't have to be around other people when I'm doing them, and it's just much more comfortable for me. So kind of happy about that. I've gotten a lot better about my anxiety in the past several years. I used to have panic attacks on a pretty regular basis. I had my first one when I was 9. I had to go to the ER because I went into convulsions, so that wasn't good. But I've become much better. I did the academic decathlon in high school, and I had to do speeches for that, and that was always very, very stressful, but it did help me get over a lot of my issues. And I also suffer from depression on a very frequent basis. I had to drop out of my first college because I was depressed and I was contemplating suicide. So yeah, that's a long story. If you want me to go into that, I can go ahead and do a video on that in the future. But needless to say, I have some mental health issues that I'm constantly dealing with. And I have some obsessive compulsive tendencies, although they're not so bad and so numerous that I've been diagnosed as having the disorder. So I'm not that bad. But there are certain things, you know, I'm very thorough when it comes to my personal hygiene, and I'm also very finicky when it comes to my computer and keeping my computer in order and not letting it get clogged up by various programs and startup services and stuff. So I know I've talked about it before, but I actually reinstall Windows on a monthly basis in order to just wipe the slate clean and keep everything running smoothly. So hopefully you guys found this video somewhat interesting. Again, I don't know if it's even possible when hearing about someone's health problems, but if you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. I went 21-4. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Bye.